we go.
Here we go.
I'm super excited today. Are you nervous?
Yeah.
Okay, you shouldn't. Actually, you should.
A little bit.
So, another amazing episode today. I'm super stoked because I totally admire you. You have some balls. Oops. Well, as you guys know,
it's okay.
I know.
They're
This
little.
is Realtyy
big,
San Diego. This is Jessie Wright with Real Producer. Today we're going to have a blast. And one of the reasons we brought in Jessie is because she's an inspiration for majority of the women out there. They've been thinking about becoming an entrepreneur to do a different business or kind of expose themselves to something new. And I met you a few months ago, right? And we kind of had an interview, as she said. We were just having a chat, and I was so curious about how she started the business and so on. So we decided to bring it here at Realtyy San Diego. And this is Real Talk with Giuseppe. You're going to hear some bomb throughout the way, but some amazing insight. Not inside, insight. All right. Thank you, Claire, for So starting with that, Jessie. So you created something new here in San Diego, which it went viral. I mean, nothing like that existed before. You have a magazine, right? Which is called
San Diego Real Producers.
Which is an awesome, really, really cool magazine, in my opinion, because it touches the real estate agent's ego. I think it's true. That's what it is. That's why I think why it created such a huge buzz is because it's all about that. So you hit like the nail right on the head. So I am excited. I want to know all about you, how you came up with that, how did you move here, and so on and on. So let's start with something really important. So your name is Jessie Wright.
Jessie Wright.
Okay, and you're not from San Diego.
Not from here, and I own it. I'm not from here.
That's right.
But I grew up in West Virginia, but we don't really talk about that all the time. And then I lived in Boston for about 10 years. And then I recently, well, not recently, but I've been in San Diego since December 2016. So that's what, a year and 10 months. So
think about this. In a year and 10 months, you're probably one of the most influential people in the real estate business in San Diego County. And I'll tell you,
thank you.
in a year and 10 months.
That's awesome.
So that's insane. If you think about the results that you had in such a short time, it's seriously, it's remarkable. I love that. That's why I was so curious. I wanted to find out. And actually, we can give some tips to people watching, especially on Facebook and on YouTube. They're going to be watching afterwards.
Yeah, for sure.
So how did you start this business?
Okay. So I'm going to take a drink from the mug first. It's actually really water in here, too.
You guys are wondering.
Just because I always wondered if it was real.
It's true.
I did.
So how did you start your business?
Okay, got it. So San Diego Real Producers is part of Real Producers National, like a national platform. So basically, I own San Diego's market, and this is my franchise. And so I was the 22nd market to launch, and we are now in 65 markets nationwide. So it was really fascinating because I was a part of this. I'm kind of like this veteran in the Real Producer platform, and the model is the same in every single market because it does work. And it's simple. Like you said, it kind of hits on people's ego, but more than that, it really is sharing real estate agent stories, the deeper vision, the deeper look into who they are as people, and how they're just communicating, how they are with their families, and connecting great partners to that. So I'll go over who our partners are and what that kind of means for the overall flow of it. But how I started and why I picked San Diego?
Yeah, I'm like.
So
Both
they
questions.
actually, funny, because my homie Remington, who actually is the guy who started Real Producers, he's in Indianapolis, and he's like my work husband. So like we've known each other for like over 10 years from our last business.
Right.
And so he was like, hey, I have an opportunity, you should really look into it, And I remember being like, no, I'm not, I'm good on what I'm doing right now, just see you later. Fast forward, I decided to move to San Diego, and I was looking for another opportunity. I had worked in another business for 10 years, and so I was kind of just bored. I was like, all right, what's my next step? Like, where am I going? And when I knew I was moving here, I'm like, all right, now I need to look at my options. And he, again, reintroduced this platform to me and said, you'd be perfect for San Diego because you're a go-getter, you hustle, we need someone like you in that territory. So I went ahead and said, let's do this. Went through like a training, and then moved here, and I knew no one. Like I knew no one. I literally moved here, and I knew like 5 people, but none of them were connected in real estate.
Wow.
So I literally knew really no one in real estate. So I was like, what do I do? And I just was like, let's just start from. And so my first month was cold calling, obviously, because I didn't know anybody. Right. And I cold called realtors, and then that was it. After that, and I shared the vision, I guess, of what we're building, what this is going to look like here very shortly. I got a lot of agents that were like, this sounds rad, because what is the fundamental different shift is simple. We don't charge agents to be a part of our platform. Right. And most publications and that you've seen in the past, they do.
Right. They do charge you a fee in order to be featured
right.
and whatnot.
Right. Just the agents that are even receiving it, because it's an exclusive publication, it really is like a badge of honor to be featured and to be a part of the platform. Right. So it's just kind of cool, man. And that's kind of how it started.
So it's just, going back, year and 10 months, you came here, didn't know anybody. You basically started from scratch. You didn't know anybody in real estate, which is even worse, because you actually, starting a platform that goes around real estate professionals.
Right.
And now, again, you're one of the most exponential people in the real estate business in San Diego County. So it's, at least to say, it's remarkable.
Thank you.
I can barely imagine the hard work you put behind this in order to be where you're at, and actually when you wanted to be. I remember we had a conversation about this, where you wanted to be.
Totally.
So the platform itself, a real producer, I think it's so unique, and it's so different than anything else. It's like you're basically sharing stories of people that, from you guys consumers out there, think that somebody like me is just a flashy guy driving an awesome car and having a Rolex and whatnot, but they don't realize exactly what's behind it. So you're actually doing something that I personally love. You're actually putting together stories.
Yeah.
And there's several of my friends that were featured, and I know them personally. I know how cool of people they are, and they have a family, and all the, the hardship they went through in order to be where they're at.
Right.
So what do you think? Did you have a different expectation of who successful real estate agents will be before you started and now?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, this has been pretty fascinating. So every single week I wear several hats, but like one of the main things that I do every single month and every single week is meet with top producing realtors. Right. And it just blows me away how humble, how like loving, how like all these people give me an hour or even more of their time, when I know for a fact they're wearing several hats too. Right. Not to mention they all usually have a family, and I'm single. I don't really have a family. Like I have a family, but like I don't have any kids and stuff. Right. So I don't have that extra whole piece that I know a lot of people do. And so that was my biggest thing, actually. I was like, of course you get ego. Sure, I got an ego too. I mean, we all have ego, but it's really cool to see how humble agents are, and this cool, calm collective, like they know they're already a badass, right? And now it's time like for them to even give back. And so it's just been really cool. So that for sure has been like that kind of, I didn't expect that.
Eye-opening. Because,
And the second thing I'd think is success leaves clues. And I know I'm in my right place at the right time, because even interviewing you and sitting down and with all these agents, I'm always just like, well, what's your key to success? And what is the thing that makes you stand out, or whatever I'm asking? Right. And it's always the same thing. It's always
it's a pattern.
It's a pattern. It's like there's no get rich quick. Now, sure, there's someone who excels at open houses.
Wait. Oh, Repeat that.
There
is no
get rich quick.
That's right.
Yeah, there's no getting rich quick.
There's no get rich quick.
Everything takes time. Everything takes time to build. Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, everything.
Okay.
Everything. Relationships, business, doesn't matter. It all takes time. And even, like you said, I've made this like name for myself, for lack of a better phrase. And it does come through hustle and lining up with the right people. But yeah, there's no get rich quick. I have still so much to do. Like I'm just getting, here's the thing, this is what's crazy. It's been a year. Actually, this is our 13th month in print this October. and we're fully funded for the next 3 years. So we're only going up. But it's crazy because I've still only scratched the surface. Like, we just got started. Like, people are finally like, oh, wait, I've seen you or heard about you, or hey, are you that person? And I'm like, that I have so much more work to do. So it's exciting.
It's insane, you know, and this is, you know, going back on being an entrepreneur. So that, what you just said, is literally the capsule of the success. You know, majority of people, I would say 97% or, you know, regular human being out there that work 9 to 5 or whatnot, they do not have what you just said, which is, what's the next step? How can I get better? How can I increase sales in my business? How can I be more of a service for people?
Right.
That's what sets you apart from other people. Majority of people, unfortunately, have you know, the tendency to be comfortable, be at ease.
Right.
And when you get in that place, it's you know, you're just complacent. You're going to be there and you sit there, and then years go by, and that's about it.
Actually, can I speak to that?
Sure.
So that was one of my biggest challenges, actually, when I first moved here, because I came from Boston. You could tell I've got like East Coast get it done energy. Right, and that's where I think me and you kind of collaborate, because I'm like, we both are like, hey, what's going on? Awesome to see you. Okay, what's new and what's next? Okay, cool, on to the next thing. And that was my biggest struggle. Biggest struggle is that everybody was in this, not everybody, but there was this, like, and I love being here. Like, I love San Diego. I'm not going anywhere for the foreseeable future. But it's funny because that was my biggest hardship, I guess, is relating to people on that level, because everybody was in this, and I don't want to say everyone, but I just felt this like sleepy island, chill out,
flip-flops and
which is totally like, and I know the people who rock the flip-flops and the shorts and t-shirts, but they crush it and get it done. Yeah. So you do have it's not, I'm not generalizing, but it has been very interesting to just, that was a big struggle. I remember, you know, is like finding my fit, my energy. Right. To attract the right type of people that I wanted to in this quote unquote like sleepy place, you know?
Yeah, it's totally different. I mean, I come from another country as well, and it's all hustle and bustle, and I see Boston is the same, Chicago is the same, New York is the same, but San Diego has its own vibe. Yeah. You know, it's totally different. You gotta figure it out how to have both. You know, chill with them, yet be, you know what I mean, on another level.
Yeah.
Which is hard. I mean, it's sometimes I'm way too accelerated versus the people that I work with. And they're like, dude, you're neurotic.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I guess it's an adjustment that it might take a little bit of time.
Totally. And somebody told me this a long time ago. It was like my 3rd month in, and I remember exactly who it was. Lance Growth. He runs 1031 Exchange. He's or Growth 31. And he's from Connecticut. And I was sitting down and I said, man, I'm struggling. Like I'm not really relating. And he said, keep your head down, keep hustling. You have something really, really important to offer people. And he said, if you keep hustling like this, and he even said it's kind of weird. This has all been like a year for, like, this is kind of weird, the timing, because he said, keep your head down, and in a year, he's like, you'll be running circles around people. And I remember thinking that and being like, okay, I'm gonna do that. And
it's true.
I just did what he, you know, I was just doing what I was supposed to do. Yeah. And then now we're here.
That's what
now I'm here on the show with you.
Yeah. It's an honor having you, by the way. So, you know, moving forward on this end, because like I said, it's funny because I always do this all the time, right, Claire? I come up with questions and I ask not even a third of the questions because it's fun. It's supposed to be like this. Right. You know what I mean? It's real. So, moving on that, you're a woman, you know, and it's always, I don't know if it's true or not. Honestly, I treat women and men the same way, with respect, and especially if they're hustler, I appreciate the crap out of them. That's me. So, being a woman, an entrepreneur, starting a new business, do you think you have more challenges than a man, maybe? They take you less serious than if you were a man? Even though if you have guns like a man. But look at this guns. Watch out. Right. She's a kickboxer.
That's right. Actually, yeah, it's funny because you came in, you're like, you've been hitting the bag? I'm like, actually, I was hitting the bag.
See? I knew it.
It's true. It's true. It's funny because I can clean up nice, but no, I definitely.
I kick ass too.
Yeah, I have hard kicks. I like training Muay Thai. It's a great workout. And I loved when you sent me that question to like prepare, because I was like, That's such an incredible question, especially I think in particularly for me. And maybe other women are like me where they're, obviously they're hustling, they're grinding, they're entrepreneurs, they're the decision makers, they're the high D, they have to get shit done, right? And they're driving it, and you know what it is? It's a very different thing. So for example, if, and this actually happened, I was at a coffee shop, this guy was like, we were not seeing eye to eye, and he's actually like yelling at me, he's getting loud. And I knew he wasn't a fit for what we're doing. I knew I didn't want that energy around me whatsoever. Right. Instead of me just going, hey, you know what, thank you so much for your time, I don't think you're a fit for what we're doing, or I don't think this is a fit. And just getting up and leaving, right, which any man would have did. Any person should have just did that. I should have did that. It was an hour-long meeting, and I'm like, why am I still sitting here? So what I realized, even after I reflected, I was like, wow, that's kind of crazy, because I feel like if I did that as a female, I'd be like I would be like, she's an awful person. But if a dude does that, he respects his time. So it's like a very interesting
I see what you're
thing.
Sister, preach.
Yeah, right. You know what's up. You know what's up. And so I feel like women in general have a very I think.
Good point.
But at the same time, I don't want to say that like we have it harder, because I don't. That's not my reality.
Right.
That is not my reality, because I choose not to believe that. I choose not to think that. And if someone doesn't want to align with me and my business, and it's because of me being a female, obviously, dude, get out of here. Like, we're not even, because I'm like you. I see man and woman, but I don't see that. It doesn't matter if they're doing the right thing and they're genuine and they're running a great business. I'll line up based on the business and obviously who they are as a human, and then versus like that. But when it comes to dating, that's a whole nother story. So if you wanted to talk about,
that's different.
That's a whole other story.
No, but you know what? It's interesting you said that, and I'm glad to hear that. So you don't really see the big difference being a woman or a man, and be successful no matter what.
I mean, maybe I have. It's been like, again, maybe it's been
if that person's an asshole or is a bitch per se, he's gonna do it anyways. If you're a male or a female, so.
Well, and I also think that this day and age, I'm 32 right now. I think this day and age, I just don't feel like the people I'm attracting are treating me like that. Now, if you ask someone who is in her late 50s or 60s, maybe she had to deal with that in the workplace where guys would be harassing and sexual harassment was a thing, or whatever. Or, hey, I don't want to work with you because you're a female. Like, I don't get those things that ever happen. I don't think, but I'm also not looking for that.
We're in 2018 where female want to become male and male want to become female. So I don't see why we should have an issue with that. Anyway.
Exactly. Like, it's not my reality, It's not my reality.
We have lots of live viewers.
Yeah, I see that. That's awesome.
Wow, super cool.
All right.
Hi.
Say hi. Oh, Megan Kelly.
Oh, I love Megan. What's up, girlfriend? She's one of my main photographers for the publication.
She's my photographer.
Oh, is that right?
Girl. Yeah, of course.
Oh, right on. She crushes residential photography.
That's why we sell our homes really quick, because of Megan.
Oh, I love it. I can't read that
now
far
we have
away.
Crystal, girl power. What an inspiration. She's from the Dream Homes team. What's up, Crystal? Then we have Teresa. Man, I can't even see. Harris.
Can you? Hey. Oh, I can see it over here. Guys, this studio, by the way, is awesome. I'm really excited about this.
Gaston
this is
said,
great.
Doing great, Jess. We're so very proud of you and your success. Love the magazine. Gaston
Oh, yeah.
And then we have
Thank you.
Lizzie Lee. And keep on going, guys. We'll love to hear your
super
feedbacks.
cool.
If you have any questions you want me to ask Jessie or her to ask me.
Go, Jess.
Aunt Nancy, she's awesome. That's Uncle Gaston, yeah.
That's awesome.
They're supporting me. I love them, yeah.
So, you were mentioning something, and then I stopped you in regards on your personal side of it, which is dating. So, no, this is a serious question, and it goes hand to hand. Do you agree, Claire? It goes hand to hand when you're very successful, you work so much, you as a female could be a threat to a male. Especially if that male is insecure, which I wouldn't consider him a male, but
right. But you'd be surprised.
So,
you want me to elaborate?
Yeah, go for it.
That has also been it wasn't just. It was the guys around here, dude. When I moved here, I was so surprised. I'm like, why won't they be like, hey, here's an easy pickup line, in my opinion, or at least what I would enjoy.
So you guys write it down, pickup line. Next time is here to use the pickup line.
Exactly. So But all you have to do is walk up and be like, hey, like, how are you? Or like, you look great. And be sincere. Like, if you think I look pretty or whatever, like, hey, you look great. What's your name? And I would have been like, and then it actually, when you take control and you're more, and I don't want to say, like, not demanding by any means, but when you actually just, when a gentleman takes control in a kind way, I'm like, oh, hey, who are you? Like, what's your name? Like, now I'm super open to that. But guys, for at least what my experience has been in San Diego, was very passive. They're just so passive. I'm the one that's like, hey, dude, you're cute. Do you want to take me out? Like, I'm like, how does this work? Like, do I take you out? Do I buy the booze? Like, am I asking you out? Like, I'm just real confused. And so I'm like,
that's hilarious.
That was the situation though for a long time. And since then, I've actually started seeing somebody.
Oh.
Yeah, and
he's probably watching right now.
Maybe he's probably watching. So whatever, shout out. I'm not using their names, but he has a special place right now. Just because, you know why? And it's been really interesting because this guy is actually completely opposite. He's not in the business at all, which I didn't want. I didn't want to date anyone in the industry.
Smart.
He's an engineer, totally not like me at all. I'm kind of high energy, and he's very chill.
Very analytical.
Oh, very analytical, very like has to think
the opposite
before he speaks.
attracts. That's what it is.
It really is. It's so weird to me because I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
And then also, you know, I thought I want this big manly man because I have a lot of masculine energy personally. So I thought that that's what I would want, but that's not it at all. Yeah, it's been so wild. So, but yeah, I think that going back to it, when I have a very outgoing personality, so I think that did intimidate guys too.
And you know, that's the thing, is like you're successful, you're high DII, very gregarious, you know, just a driver. You know, you basically take the seat as a driver, and I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of men that they're not very confident with themselves. That they have a problem with it. That's why I asked you this question.
Yeah, that kind of hits, but you know what's fascinating? Monday through Friday, I'm driving, right? Monday through Friday, I'm driving the business, I'm driving the phone calls, I'm driving every relationship, whatever, right? I'm making a lot of decisions and wearing a lot of hats and doing stuff, but by the time it is the weekend, I want that man to step up. And hey, you take me to dinner, you choose, don't ask me where we gotta go, don't give me 3 options if anything, or 2 options. And by the way, don't even give me options, just say we're going here, and I'm like, oh, I love you. Like, just make decisions, just do it.
It's interesting because we, IID, we're all the same with that. I am the same. Like, I mean, I literally run the business and, you know, have to make important decisions and problem solving. I don't want to hear anything. When I go home, thank God I have a partner, my fiance, she's awesome. You know, she's like, takes care of me. I don't have to do shit. I literally go home, baby, we have to go to this dinner and this and that.
Thank you.
God bless her, I love you. So I don't have even the sweat. Sometimes she even has my clothes ready. So this is for the dinner.
I love that.
I'm just telling you, that's perfect situation because you know, they just suck the blood out of you. You know what I mean? The energy throughout the week or throughout the days. So it's important to have a partner like that. That's being complete, and actually take yourself to the next level.
Totally. That's what. I'm digging it right now.
That's what it is.
I'm digging it.
And it's interesting. It's the opposite. You know, I read a book about this the personality, the test, you know, the DISC profile. There's DISC, and you know, they literally spread it in 25% each DISC. And apparently, it's so true. I never thought of it because in a hypothetical, we're like, oh, I just want to be with somebody that's like me.
Just like you, but that's not right.
But it's not like that. It has to be the opposite sphere. So if you put a DISC, so you know what I mean? You're on the opposite side. You're going to be attracted by that person. So I appreciate an analytical person more as an S versus a driver, because I am a driver. I'm a pain in the ass. I don't like myself. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to have another person like, oh, shit, let's do this. Chill the fuck up. You know what I mean? I want
a relationship with yourself,
Exactly.
Well, and all this time I thought that I did want a relationship with myself, and then I realized maybe that was the issue, because again, this guy kind of opened it up, and I believe I manifested him, by the way.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, 100%. No, I did, seriously, because I said, universe. I remember I was right in my home office. I remember being like, universe, next guy I date. I said I'd like him to drive a motorcycle. I said I don't care what form he comes in. I just want him to have all the qualities that I want in my ideal mate. And you know what?
Dude,
he has a motorcycle. He actually has 2. He has two.
Oh, wow.
In fact, he has a little one that I'm learning how to ride.
How fun is that?
Yeah, I've been
That's
wanting to learn to ride. So yeah, it was funny because I was like, dude, I
Right.
straight manifested this guy, but
That's-
it's for me, it's kind of interesting because simply because I've been single for so long and I totally enjoyed it and
Yeah,
enjoy
you
it.
had your fair share.
Yeah, so I don't like being told, like, you know, I don't like that whole, like, I don't even like calling someone my boyfriend. Like, that word to me just weird. So, we'll talk about that next time.
So, you know, I want to say all the successful entrepreneurs and successful people, they usually have somebody in their lives, or a specific moment in their lives that they saw the light, or they had a mentor, or something that literally changed the course, you know what I mean,
Right.
or their lives in that particular moment. So, did that happen to you? Like, was it maybe somebody in your family, or was it a specific moment when you say, you know what, screw this, I want to be my own boss, I want to take the risk, I'm going to put everything on the line, and I'm going to work my ass off until I make it?
You know what? I have always wanted to work for myself from a really young age. I remember in college I wanted to be like a pharmaceutical sales rep because they give you the sheet that like shows you all the what you can do, and then the price, or not the price, but the the amount of money those people make. And I was like, I want to do that, and I was like, that'd be fun. And then from early on, I think I was 19, I got this job selling Cutco knives, Cutco cutlery.
yeah.
You guys know Cutco? Yeah.
That's funny.
So dude, honestly,
knives.
I worked for them for 10 years.
No way.
I never thought that I would have stayed with that company for 10 years, but I did.
Wow.
And it's because they really did help me continue to grow. Like I think that's when people jump ship, is when they're feeling like they're not growing, right? But I grew physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, and I also learned what not to do. In fact, I ran Cutco closing gifts in all of New England.
Yeah.
And then I still have clients all the time that reach out and say, "Hey, Jess, I want to reorder it." I'm like, "Sweet, hey, you know, let me link you up with Tanya, my admin," and my admin just takes it from there. And then a week later, I see a commission. I'm like, "Sweet." I took the time to build that business,
awesome.
so I'm grateful that I can reap the benefits
Very
of that.
good.
And so, crap, I forget the question.
Did you have a moment or a mentor or a person?
There we go.
where you, yeah.
So, but early on, I knew that I wanted to always work for myself because I really like not being told what to do. I think that's what it is for me. I just don't want to say, come here and leave then, and this is what you have to do. I'd rather just say, here's what you should be doing. Like, figure it out, you know? And so from an early age, I just kind of never wanted to work for anyone else. And then, and Cutco allowed me to do that. And then when I went to go even graduate, I continued to work for them because, again, I could still do what I
Right.
did. And I
That
made
makes
great
sense.
money, honestly. We made great money doing it. So I was like, I'll
Why
stick
not?
with this. But I think I've had several mentors, man, so many I couldn't even name. Like, I think there's been so many pivotal points, and even my mom has already passed away, and she passed away at 56. So I think just understanding like simple
Sorry to hear
even
that.
life, and no worries, she was sick for a long time, but simple even just like, we all come here to like, I know it's gonna sound pretty crazy. It's gonna sound pretty, this is gonna
give me
sound
the
like,
craziness. I want to sound.
well, this is gonna sound pretty like what? But dude, we all come here to live and then we die. Like that, we come here to live and then we die.
That's
And
right.
I don't know what happens after that, and nobody does. But my point is, I want to live every single day. Like, I just want to have a ton of fun every day, because I know if I'm having a ton of fun every day, all these other people are having a ton of fun too. In life, we're supposed to impact. We're supposed to have fun, and I think it starts with fun. I think you get everything that you want to when you start with fun, including money and relationships and businesses. And your business, if you're in a bad place, like, it doesn't go to the next level.
Sure.
So to answer your question about a mentor, there's just so many. I have there's been so many books. I try to read, at a minimum 12 books a year, one a month. I listen to a lot of audiobooks now. Esther Hicks, I don't know if anybody follows Abraham Hicks. It's like a,
hold on, I
dude,
think actually, yes, I heard
it's
of
totally,
Abraham Hicks.
if you
Yes,
listen,
yes,
some people
yes,
are like,
yes.
this stuff is so woo-woo, but I don't know, I dig it. I dig it. So it's not, but that's been helping me stay centered in my spirituality. And I don't know, man. I've had I think everyone that is in Real Producers now has mentored me. And anybody, if they've ever had a phone call think about it. If you've ever had a phone call with any person, Anybody who's ever talked to you, really, you've learned something subconsciously from them.
I agree.
So.
You know, we do morning motivational calls. So I learned from the agents, the people that actually call in, and
Totally.
just that energy. You know, it's funny you said this. I never thought about this because, you know, if there was a moment, a certain point in our lives, I don't know if you guys know, you know me now, so totally IDII. I am very unruled. You know, I like headstrong and just get shit done. If you don't know, I was a flight attendant.
I did not know that.
And while you were talking about this, it just something hit me. And I remember probably was the last flights or the last 2 flights I went to. And you have to do a briefing before you actually take off. So there's the whole crew and the captain. Most of the times the captains are jerks. You know what I mean? It's like
really?
oh, shit.
Are they real high D? Like, get in the
Oh
plane,
yeah,
sit
that's
down,
like,
let's
I'm
go.
the boss. You do this shit, this
Oh,
and
they're
that.
not
Let's go.
nice.
They don't give you options. That's about it. And I remember something about I wasn't feeling well, and this guy was such a jerk, saying, you know, maybe you shouldn't come on the flight there for the 3 days or something like that. Now you just said something like this. Maybe that's what happened to me that
Yeah.
time. I was so discouraged by this whole thing of being told what to do and what not to do. And I was like, you know what? Screw you, you, and you.
Right.
I'm my own boss. I do whatever the frick I want.
Yeah.
And if I, exactly. if I make a mistake, I assume my responsibilities. And that's
Right.
about it.
Right.
So that's, you know, talking about it made me think for some reason. I'm
Well,
like, damn, that's what it is.
And I think, like, I have a ton of great conversations because, again, I'm trying to really direct my mindset and my mind, because that's the one thing we really can control is how this is kind of, not always, but like, I believe I
No,
can.
it
I
is.
can,
No,
yeah.
no. It's totally 100%.
Yeah.
It's like we can control our minds.
For sure.
100%.
You've got to work on it. It takes a ton of work
You know,
every
Tony
single
Robbins
day.
says that exercise that makes you shift your energy.
Yeah.
And so that's the same thing.
Probably
Yeah.
The only thing we can control.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
it's true.
Seriously. No, you're totally right. Or how you feel about things. But you know, when you think about it, it's probably the mean conversations are the ones that like had somehow lit you up. Those are the ones that direct the course of your life,
That's
you
right.
know?
It's
and
true.
and those are the ones that will push you to like, hey dude, I'm done, or like, hey, I need to do that. But it's the ones that you got to hit your core. It's got to hit you
Right.
here first, and then you're like, okay.
And I think you're right. We do make decisions based on the pain that we can incur.
Right.
It's not about the reward.
Right.
It is seriously, I've been studying that for the last few years.
Interesting, yeah.
Yes, it's about the pain you're going to incur if you don't do something.
Right.
It's not about the reward because, you know, your magazine is going to be great.
Right.
But-
Well, and sorry to interrupt you,
No,
because
go
I'm
ahead.
just like thinking about it. Money's not my main motivator.
Right.
Money's not my main motivator, and what it is failure of fail or help me out. What is
Fear
it?
of failure.
Fear of failing. There we go. Fear of failing. That is definitely my like
Right.
I
Same
don't
thing.
want to fail.
It's
I
our
can't
ego.
fail. It's just
You're touching with the ego.
it is. It
And
is ego. You're totally
it
right.
is.
It's this interesting connection though with it.
Totally. Like I watch your magazine when it comes in and I look at the numbers, I'm like, shit, this guy's like this? And then I
Oh,
work
yeah,
my
yeah,
ass
yeah.
off more than, it's true.
Right.
It's all about that. It's like you don't want to be second, you don't want to be last, you don't want to be in pain.
Mm-hmm.
You want to do things to avoid the pain that you're going to have.
Right.
So we're very close to the end.
Okay. That
I
went by
want you.
fast.
I know. I wish we had another 30 minutes. One last question, really quick. What's the future of Real Producer? What are we going to do?
Okay. First off, the future of Real Producers is staying straight on with what we're doing with Real Estate Stories. At first, I wanted to add all this extra content, and we are. Well, I think we need to add a little more content, but I wanted all this extra content, and I realized, man, just share the agent stories. That's like great. It's a big thing. It's simple, but it's also really impactful for the community as a whole. Next thing is next year we're gonna roll out more educational / networking events. What I realized this year, we run 3 to 4 private events a year, and there are bigger events, and I open it up to agents selling usually 20 million or more, and some rising stars and owner brokers, and it's private to our partners who help fund this magazine. And I want to have those still, but I also want to create little more mini, like almost like a happy hour. I want to do just more happy hours to just get agents and partners belly to belly, because I realize that when we're belly to belly, that's when business gets done and when relationships get built. So I want to create more space for that. And lastly, just do more masterminds. So I think next year we're going to run either 2 or maybe even 4. And they're going to keep it simple. I know people want to do them. Like I've asked top agents what will get them to come and keep coming, and they say don't do stuff every month. So I don't want to do a monthly thing
No, I
because
agree. It has to be maybe quarterly or yeah.
yeah. So maybe outside of the quarterly events, maybe we do quarterly masterminds, offsetting those events. I don't know.
I agree.
But
That'll be good.
but that's what it is. It's just more face-to-face belly time. So we'll be figuring that out.
That's awesome. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this amazing interview today. I had a ton of fun. Thank you all the sponsors for making this happen. Thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah.
And if you guys have any more questions, feel free to keep on commenting. We're going to answer them all. Thank you. Talk to you soon.
Yay! Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you.